Hello, welcome to this very special episode, a Christmas special episode of the Film Angle. My name is Kris.
And I'm Alex.
Well, I said I and then mine. We're already going off to a good start because I don't know if I'm happy that we did this Christmas special, Alex. I was really excited about it. I think your suggestion this week kind of helped us. I think I shot us both in the foot here. I think I fucked us up.
Do you not feel uber festive? Did the festivities not increase after watching these two films, Kris?
So for anyone who's not aware or didn't listen to last week's episode, this Christmas special, we challenged each other to sort of revamp the streaming that the films that streaming forgot segment that we did before, where we challenge each other to watch a movie kind of lost in the streaming sphere, like on Prime or on Netflix. So you can't find these movies anywhere, but we've managed to find them. Like these are sort of movies that kind
The
of
depths of
exactly.
Amazon Prime.
And so we both went away, picked our films for each other. Alex, we actually almost picked the same movie, which is
Yeah,
bizarre.
we did. Out of all the films we could have watched, and I think we were both edging originally towards like very classic Hallmark kind of bad Christmas movie, and then we strayed away thinking, oh, I'll put in something that the other person isn't going to think about, and then came out with very similar films.
I think the thing is, I watched one of those kind of movies earlier this month. I was like, that's enough. I enjoyed it, but I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah.
So yeah, we both nearly picked the same one. You ended up going for Santa's Sleigh, which is like a 2005 horror comedy. Santa is a bad boy and wants to kill everybody. He goes on a rampage.
Well, he's a demon. He's a demon. He's the baddest of bad boys.
We'll get into that. We'll get into the story. There is mythology to this thing. It has a lot more going for it than what I picked for you, which you said to me. I asked you how was watching Fatman 2020, starring Mel Gibson and Walton Goggins. You told me that it was very consistent with all the other picks I've done for you previously in this segment. And I immediately knew that I had done a bad thing. Yeah, you weren't wrong. You were wrong.
It was homework.
Oh, it was homework. It was fucking homework. I made such a mistake of leaving both of these movies to Sunday. I did one during the day and one in the evening. And I honestly, like all the festive cheer that was probably built up in the last month was completely just squeezed out of me like a toothpaste tube in the space of a day. Oh my god! That movie is. We'll get into it. We'll get into it. The movie is god awful.
Yeah. Well, let's save it. Let's save it, Kris. Save it for the podcast.
We're gonna tell
but
you why it's
I
god
do need to remind you, if you're gonna talk about the series, the films that streaming forgot, you need to sing the name.
Okay. Well, I haven't came up with. You just want me to come up with a melody?
No, you just got to be like the films that streaming forgot.
That's exactly the melody I had in my head.
Oh, perfect. That's the new jingle. The jingle that we wanted last week. I did it, but you got to sing it.
We can do it like scat. A little bit something. We'll work on it for the new year.
Is that scat?
Yeah, that's kind of yeah. You're like scat man.
Yeah, that's kind of That's what you sound like.
Yeah. I'll
Sing it. Go up. Sing it.
What now?
Yeah, because I'll put the guitar on it in the edit.
No, because I'll do more like I'm more of a musical theater guy, so I'll put a bit more like a Hugh Jackman energy towards it, right?
Oh god, have I got to put like Cats the musical
songs
underneath this?
Well, you can do that, or you can.
Go on, sing it to Memories.
I'll sing it like Jean Valjean, and I'll wear a cravat. No.
I don't understand the reference.
We're ditching the jingle. We'll leave it yours for now. Way better than me.
Wait, I reckon I could do it. I reckon I could do Cat's Memories. We're there.
Right.
The films that streaming forgot.
That's not bad, actually.
There
Although I'm getting slight PTSD from YK 2020.
There you go. That's our jingle. Maybe I'll add guitar to that. You'll find out in the edit.
Oh, God. Well, you told me, actually, I didn't listen to the last episode, and you edited the last episode, and apparently there's some little
sound effects,
which isn't usually like us. I think because usually time constraint. We want to try to do a little bit more of that in the future, don't we?
They're calling me the new Hans Zimmer on the streets.
Although he's well, they're starting to say that Hans Zimmer is kind of like losing his edge now.
Well, that's why I'm the new one. I'm like the new fresh Hans Zimmer.
You're like the guy who does the Mandalorian music. He's good.
Michael Giacchino?
Isn't he not got like a Swedish Nordic sort of name?
Is it not? Is it like Michael Giacchino?
Oh right, yeah. No, that's sounding right.
I feel like maybe we should search this before. Let me have a look.
He
No,
doesn't
no,
listen to it.
it's Michael Giacchino, and he's American. So
Where did I get that from?
I don't know.
Oh God,
Don't know.
terrible.
Yeah, I feel like Daniel Pemberton, who did the Across the Spider-Verse stuff. He's the new fresh thing on the streets, right?
On the streets, the fresh thing was he like a burger on the side of the street?
The streets of musical composition.
he's like Banksy. Yeah.
Only because I'm just like, oh man, that's such a cool score. And our future episodes will most likely be our year in reviews. And if we're going to say anything about the best score of the year, I think it goes to Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say like Godzilla for some reason there.
No, that's just because we were talking
No,
about that
no, you're
earlier.
right.
No, it's Daniel Pemberton, man.
The
But then I'm
Pembers.
looking at the other films he's done. Enola Holmes 2.
Oh, you say that under your breath. Actually,
I've not
I
seen it. I've
remember
not seen it.
Enola Holmes 1. It's okay. Enola Holmes 2, pretty good movie, and actually has a really good score. And I actually still remember the main theme of that movie, the music in my head. I could tell you, I could hum it back to you now. It wouldn't mean anything to you, but I can still remember that music. So I get it. I get it.
Oh, well, he is bloody good then. He is
Yeah,
bloody good.
he is
Anyway,
good.
there's a new rival in town, and his name is Alex Hunt, because he put a little bit of guitar and some jingle bells in the last episode of the Film Angle podcast.
Holy shit! Watch out, Pemberton.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, it's not as good as last year. Whenever we did the Halloween special, not this year, the year before, and I put in some witch cackles. I don't. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that. I'll take your word for it, though.
You said it was good.
I'm sure it is. I'm
All
sure it
right,
is.
all
I'm
right.
sure it is. Anyway,
Christmas.
the Christmas special of the films that streaming forgot.
That's brilliant.
Thank you.
That's brilliant. I'm still not confident enough yet.
I know. You should have. I feel like you should have harmonized with me there, but you know.
You're on stage. This is Dylan Brennan at the Catalina Wine Mixer, but I'm not coming up to help you.
Thanks for leaving me hanging there. Could have harmonized. Could have been the greatest thing in the world, but there you go.
So, whenever you think of Santa Claus, who would you cast as Santa Claus?
Who? Ooh.
Yeah, like you always think of like a Richard Attenborough type, and obviously he did play Santa Claus and everything. But do you think like WWE wrestler?
I think The Rock.
I think The Rock.
I'm
It's
surprised he
about
hasn't,
time.
actually. I'm surprised he hasn't played Santa.
It does seem like something he would do. I mean,
He played the Tooth Fairy.
he did. He did. Wasn't he like wearing like an American football jersey or something in that?
I
Like he
didn't
had like
see it.
shoulder pads. He was
I
like,
just remember the poster.
yeah, he's got his arm. He's looking sassy. He's got his arms crossed or something. Yeah, it's like a Vin Diesel pacifier sort of stuff.
Anyway.
Santa sleigh. Are you drinking beer there? Are you still drinking your beer?
I am drinking beer, yes.
One of us is drinking tonight. The other one isn't.
One of us is drinking. Yes. So, shall we talk about the film that I challenged you to watch, Chris?
Yeah.
Though I must say, this time, for the first time in the Films That Stream and Forgot History, we have both seen both films now. So, it makes the conversation more interesting. And hopefully limits you from picking too many bad choices in the future.
Yeah, don't give me the reins. Don't give me the
because
reins.
you don't want to be watching Atlantis Untold. I challenge you to watch the 2005 film Santa's Sleigh, directed by David Steinman, who was a former assistant to Brett Ratner, apparently, the disgraced Brett Ratner, and features, as you were kind of hinting towards, Bill Goldberg as Santa Claus. Give me a little summary of the. Give me a little, or shall we? Let's listen to the trailer.
Yeah.
And then give me a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
summary of what you saw in the film.
Give the people a little flavor.
Grandpa, I want the truth about Christmas.
If it's the truth you want, then it's the scary truth you're gonna have. According to the Book of Claus, Santa, Satan's only son, lost a bet and was forced to spread Christmas cheer. But now, all bets are off.
Santa?
Yes, there is a Santa Claus. Ho, ho, hoes!
Santa Claus is not a myth or a legend. He's real. Only he's not bearing gifts and presents anymore.
Christmas can sure scare the dickens out of people.
He's scary yet educational.
I'm just trying to spread a little Yuletide fear.
So, yeah, you kind of got the gist of it there. Santa Claus is not really the Santa that we know him to be. Well, he has been. He has been for the last 1,000 years. The last 1,000 years, he has been a good boy. But he lost a bet. Santa Claus is actually a demon who lost a bet with an angel 1,000 years ago. So, he became somewhat of a menace, like someone who bullied or killed people. He killed children and people in general. I think
Yeah,
that
he
was
just
his.
went on rampages.
Yeah, it
Doesn't
doesn't
it? Like,
explain why. He just
doesn't really explain what his point is.
yeah, he just goes around and basically, is living his best Grand Theft Auto life, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, he lost his bet to like an old man. He's secretly an angel, and yeah. So for 1,000 years, he had to be good and actually give presents and be the Santa that we know him to be. But the 1,000 years has just ran out. All bets are off, and Santa Claus is back on his rage again. And yeah, it kind of goes straight ahead into the movie though. Like he's already rampaging without context.
You
with
get a
all-
little bit in that like pre-credits, or like the opening credit, should I say,
Yes.
has a bit of a book, and there's a Santa Claus with a timer, and the timer keeps going down. I did think production value wise, like this film had pretty good.
that
Like
the
it was
book
quite interesting.
The book thing at the start, like the opening credits, is quite fun. I actually did quite like that. It kind of reminded me of like The Evil Dead, like the book from that.
Mm.
Um, how it kind of maps out like the prophecy stuff, and it kind of takes you through like the book starts off during the opening title sequence at like 1065, and then it goes to like the Renaissance period and everything like that. And that's
Mm.
kind of fun.
And this is
Um,
after he's taken down like a family of
yeah,
well, this is the thing. I assumed going in that he would be like, oh, he's gonna start offing naughty kids or people on the naughty list kind of thing.
yeah.
But instead, he just kills anyone. It doesn't matter. And he kills a whole family of people, which includes James Caan, who was an
Yeah,
elf.
uncredited James Caan.
Is he uncredited? I
He's
didn't know that.
uncredited. It's like I would have thought they would have put that on the fucking poster, even though he's in one scene, just to get people to watch the movie. But obviously, he might have watched it back and went, "I don't want to. I don't want
Yeah,
to."
surprised he did another Christmas film after this.
Yeah, yeah. Well, was this Elf was 2 years before this, right?
Oh, you might be right. Actually, was
Yeah,
Elf? Which is mad because
2003
this
was
film
Elf.
looks so much older than Elf. Yeah, you're right. Elf was 2003. He was like,
Um,
"I'm coming in for another one. This could be another classic Christmas."
but he does look younger in this for some reason. I think maybe it's the pencil mustache they give him.
I think it's the fact that the film looks like it's from the 80s.
It that's mean.
It does though.
It
And
does look.
it's not
It
bad.
looks
It's like a
old.
very nostalgic. It feels like an old 80s, like maybe late 80s, early 90s,
The quality that
straight to DVD or straight to video.
yes,
So,
I think you're right because we watched this on Prime, so it said 720p, but it looked pretty. It looked like a VHS transfer a little bit. So
yes.
maybe that's why. Maybe only ever released on that format, and that's why it kind of looks a bit old and crappy. But like the action scenes, at least early on in the movie, are actually there's some creative kills. Like they're
Yeah,
not
I
badly shot.
agree. I agree. I think this is where when you have somebody like Bill Goldberg playing Santa, then you've got some you have an action man
Yes, and he can
essentially.
probably bring a little bit to it, like
Yeah,
creatively as
he
well.
definitely like. I mean, I don't. Were you a WWE person growing up, Chris?
It's weird. Like as a kid, no, I
No,
thought
neither was
I thought it. I have a respect for it now. I genuinely do. But as a kid, I thought it was weird.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get it. I used to like I had this older cousin that used to go to their house during holidays, and I used to always get stuck in a room with him, and he was always watching WWE, and he'd always like live out his weird fantasy on me and like use me as a prop and like do pile drivers and like throw me around the room, and I hated going to their house. So that was my relationship with WWE.
Just being pummeled by a little
I
boy.
literally got pummeled. Yeah. So no, I recognize his voice though. His voice sounds like is like iconic to me.
I don't know. I have no idea. I had to
Yeah.
look. He's definitely been in films.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know
He's
him,
good.
but
I think he's good. I
I
think he
think he's
does
brilliant.
fine.
He's brilliant, I thought. Out of
Yeah.
all, like, he looks the part. I think it's a really cool looking evil Santa. I think he completely looks the part. I think he definitely like is walking the line between like funny and sinister. I think he's absolutely got it.
Yeah.
I thought he was great. He was the highlight of this film. I thought it was hilarious every time he comes on screen riding a sleigh pulled by like a giant bison.
Yeah, that's what I said. They call it like a reindeer, but it's clearly a bison.
Yeah.
like, I'm so confused. I'm like every time the bison is on the screen, I'm trying to like confirm it in my mind. Is it a bison? I'm
Yeah.
like, is this animal cruelty? Did they what did they do?
And it's real. It looks like a real bison, right?
At least for when it's standing, like even when it's moving in the action scenes, like it's questionable. It might be real as
Yeah.
well.
But he
Yeah,
just goes around like destroying things and doing whatever he wants. And the idea is he's like some kind of spawn of Satan, right?
yeah.
Um but yeah, so mainly the film was just kind of like a little bit of plot uh surrounded by scenes of him just going to strip clubs and living out his fantasies.
That bit confused me, right? You got the strip club saying about 15 minutes into the movie, and you think that like
5 stars.
yeah, five
You're
stars from
thinking
Alex.
5 stars.
It should have left that to the end, and then it would have been a crescendo effect on you. But like you go in and you're trying to work out like right. I get it. He's a bad guy. He's not very nice. He kills people, but he seems to be like specifically targeting this strip club. That like oh he's going to go there to have a good time, and he immediately just goes in there and like kills everybody.
Well,
Like
doesn't
I'm just
it's
like
because he immediately like just sexually assaults one of the women
oh
there,
yeah yeah
just grabs her,
he grabs
and
her and
then the
kisses
security
her.
guys try to take him out, so he decides just to kill everyone.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know what he was after there.
Mm, it is interesting. That is the thing. It is annoying that like this film spends so much time putting context behind why he's evil that it doesn't put any context into like what he's doing it for.
Hmm.
Or like why he's here. And I guess like there's a little bit near the end as we, the town is called Hell, and
Yeah, no,
he's actively searching out the angel that tricked him into becoming, the good Santa that we
Mhm.
all know and love.
Yes,
But
yeah. That reveal is like really late in the movie. Like I
so
was
late,
too late,
way
too
too
late that
late.
well that the angel is actually we kind of got two other main characters. Well, three main characters. We've got Grandpa, which is Robert Culp. I've
Yeah.
seen him. I recognize him again.
He's just grandpa though, right? He
He's
does.
called Grandpa.
Yeah.
His grandson are it's like his one of his parents are dead. One of them's still around, but like not doesn't live with him.
Mm-hmm.
So the grandson of Grandpa is Nicholas Yulson.
Yes.
Yeah,
Saint Nick.
and he works in the deli shop with another girl called Mary,
Yeah.
and they're kind of got this like teenage budding romance thing kind of going on, and like it's just kind of similar to like Hocus Pocus whenever like the two teenagers and that are like they kind of fancy each other, but this whole like event brings them together. It's kind of like that sort of thing.
Yes. And they've both like he's got a weird granddad and it's alluded to the fact that she's got a weird family that like hunting things.
Oh yeah, like
She
she
brings
brings
over
Wolverine.
Wolverine, but it looks like Raw. It's really weird.
Yeah, there's like a quick cut, like a 1 second quick cut to like just like rotting flesh or something.
Yeah,
Like it's,
that was weird. I mean, a lot of this film is weird. I'm talking about it as if like it
yeah,
does work. It doesn't really,
no,
but it's kind of fun.
yeah, it's weird. I do feel like I'm overpraising it. I feel like I had more
Yeah,
fun than I remember.
it was shit.
But yeah, but it's like I think the real problem with it is, yeah, it is kind of shit, but the action is fun. But yeah, you're right. Like that little moment with the Wolverine, that felt like straight out of like a Wayland brother like scary movie sort of skit,
Mm,
like one of those weird comedy moments that don't work. But this is also like a movie that wants to be, it wants to be Back to the Future, but it also wants to be like the movie for the guys. It wants to be the movie where like Santa Claus goes in the strip club, but it also like wants to be this like PG family comedy at the same time. Like the stuff with the grandpa, like they try to make it really wholesome.
yeah,
Um,
and they have so like when they give you the history behind the for some reason a curling
oh yeah,
competition.
which is all done in stop motion for a
Yeah,
backlash thing,
which is looks like the old what's the
like the
guy?
Rudolph stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is an actual guy that is it like who did that?
Are you not talking about like the Land of the Lost guy? Are you?
I don't
Or
know.
like the yeah, like he did all like fuck like the Ben Hur stuff and everything.
Ray Harryhausen.
Yes.
Did he do the Christmas stuff?
No.
No, that's what I was thinking.
but they're kind of one and the same thing. They kind of got that sort of like scratchiness to them.
But
But
there
yeah, you're
is what is it called though?
yeah, I know you talk about it. You like we talked about Rudolph last year actually.
Yeah, I swear there's a guy who kind of they call it like it's his style, right?
Oh, well, just add it to the list of things that we don't know. Yeah, we know. You know.
You know the guy.
You know
You
the
know the
guy.
guy. Anyway, yeah, in that old Rudolph style, stop motion.
Which is
Yeah, they
really weird stop motion because at the start you're like, oh, that's kind of fun and impressive, and then it's actually quite, as it goes on, it's pretty shit.
is it?
It's kind of okay, but like it looks a little bit like university project stop motion. Like it's not bad, but
It's
it's
got
like
charm. It's
at
got
the end of
charm.
it, it's got like a fade of like it goes under the water, and then there's this like seal. It does like a dissolve
Oh
under the
yeah,
screen.
yeah. It's got charm. It's got
It's
charm.
got charm.
It's
And it's a
got
cool way.
charm.
It's a cool little like a little extra little bit of spice to add into the movie.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
yeah. I thought it was charming. I liked that. I like that. I do feel like the only reason it's a curling competition between Satan and the angel is because obviously we get a rematch near the end of the film, and I feel
Yeah,
like the only reason it's that is because they had like a couple of days on an ice rink where they could film,
yeah,
and they were like, "We need to do something cool with this ice
yeah.
rink."
Well, they had this whole school, didn't they? I mean, there's a lot of like nighttime Stranger Things kind of like creeping around the inside of a school at the end of the movie.
Mm.
So you can tell it's a school. There's lockers everywhere. They're actually in classrooms, and probably they got this ice rink because it's Canada. I don't know. Ice rinks are normal in high schools in Canada.
Probably.
Probably. So they probably got a really good package deal on this thing.
I've been like where they've just had like an ice rink in the town. It's just like a random, like a little one, like on a
Oh,
pond.
like a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So like I can see it.
Okay. Well, yeah, this thing's a mixed bag. It is just like it's three different things at once, but it's kind of fun. It is very fun. And it's only like it says 75 minutes, but with credits, it's like 70 minutes. So
Yeah.
there's episodes of TV that are longer than this.
Yeah,
So
I'm glad it was as short as it was because like I liked it.
it outstays its welcome
I
if
think I
it went
liked it.
any longer.
Yeah, I definitely lose an interest by the end because it is just kind of like chasing after chasing after
Yes,
chasing.
because Santa is so one note and is
Yeah.
like there's nothing else to say. There's
Yeah,
nothing else to do.
there's no
And
more strip clubs in hell.
I think the kills get a little bit less creative as the movie goes on too. I think
Yeah,
like they're not as fun as they were. Like there was some really good. Oh, that's I've actually never saw like the thing with the in the strip club with the guy getting electrocuted with the stripper pole. Like I've never seen that done before. I was quite That sounds really basic the way I'm describing it because you can't really describe a kill like that. But you see in the movie and you're like, okay, that's actually pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's it. It's a movie for your friends to hang around the sofa and have a few beers at.
Yeah.
That's and
I think it would have been more fun if we actually watched it together.
yeah, I did laugh. I did laugh out loud, and I was by myself a couple of times.
Yeah,
So
I chuckled. I chuckled
yes,
throughout because I was
because you're
like,
not sad. Like you just chuckle to yourself. Like I actually laughed like a maniac by myself.
yeah. I did have Em next to me, but she was ill, and she fell asleep. So I don't know if that was because she was ill or because
It made
of the
her ill.
film. But I chuckled. I chuckled quite a bit. I was like, this is stupid. I
Okay,
like it.
Alex, I'll say it's a win though in terms of the segment because I think it's probably the best movie that we've covered on it
Ever on the film angle.
ever on the Film Angle 2023. This might make my top 10 of 2023, even though it came out in 2005.
Yeah, and it really doesn't look like it came out in 2005. But I think you're
Past
right. Like,
lives, nah.
I had fun with this film. It's under an hour and a half. Under an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Perfect.
70 minutes. Like, that's like the old school Disney movies were like
Mm.
even longer than that. So you can
I'm
definitely.
surprised. Like, even like looking at the kind of, I was trying to look at this film online and just see like if many people had even seen it on Letterbox or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it really doesn't have that much of like, and I know the whole point of this is that it's like films that streaming forgot, so we're trying to find the depths. But I feel like the type of film it is with the WWE wrestler in it, it is very stupid. It is very B movie. I was expecting at least some kind of cult following,
Yeah,
but
I think if it just looked a little bit nicer and didn't look so old and had a little bit of a better camera and sound's a bit shit in this movie too. I think if it just had a little bit more of that, but would it have lost it if it had a bit of polish? I don't think so. No, I think it would have been.
I liked how stupid it looked.
Yeah, I think Bill Goldberg's fine. I think it just needed to add like a little bit extra motivation. I don't know. Sometimes I'm just like watching the movie and I haven't laughed in 20 minutes. I'm like, oh, I'm actually just like getting into the story. What the fuck's going on with me? This was distributed by Lionsgate, though.
Was it? There you go.
This is what I'm reading now, yeah, but it must have just been one of their, yeah, again.
Oh yeah, because apparently they like re-released it in 2008, which doesn't make any sense to me again. But because it just doesn't look like a film from 2008.
Production company is called VIP Midian Fonds 1.
Who knows? Who knows?
Okay.
But I mean, yeah.
Oh, can I say one more thing about the movie that actually made me laugh? Not intentionally. The music is awful. Especially like even when they're using licensed music, but they can't get like the rights. You know, they can't get the fucking Temptations to sing Christmas songs or whatever like that. So they get like there's obviously this one band that they got for the whole movie that are like really amateurly singing all of these Christmas hits, and it's like somebody just put on like a Queen tribute band or something that your dad's in and just started strumming along. So I find that stuff quite funny.
Yeah. Is it just me or was it was Rocky as well, right? I feel like I just can't remember the music that much.
Rocky.
Didn't they have was
Oh
it like
yeah,
rock versions of some of it?
yeah. Like you just had moments like in action scenes, not even when any songs are on, where it's just like Christmas, like carols that have got like a bassy like guitar spin on them.
Yeah.
I remember
can't,
that.
I can't remember the music sticking out so much to me, but like I said, I watched it a few days ago. You watched it last night. So
Oh yes, it was yesterday. Jesus, man, I thought it does not feel like yesterday. Oh my god. Yeah. Santa's Slay, SLAY. If you're typing it in on
which
Amazon Prime,
does it deserve to be forgotten?
I don't think it deserves to be forgotten. I think people can have fun with this. I think if you get a
Yeah.
grip of like-minded people, all together, you'll like this thing.
Yes, I agree. It's for beers with the lads.
Yeah, you might not get all the way through it though. Like you're fine getting halfway through this thing, and then like, okay, you've had your full meal. You know what I mean? You're not going to get much else
Yeah.
after that. Just stick it on for half an hour. Laugh at it. Ditch it.
There you go. There you go. Shall we move on to the choice that you picked for me, Chris? Do you want to introduce it, and then we'll listen to the trailer together?
This movie came out in 2020, Alex. I didn't hear about this. Was actually reviewed by critics. On IMDb, it has a meta score of 40, reviewed by 121 critics. It
Real
stars,
people watch this.
yeah, people watched this. They sat down and they pressed this thing. It stars Mel Gibson. It stars Walton Goggins. It stars Marianne Jean Baptiste, who I really liked in Fabric that we watched together a few years ago. Um,
Yes.
yeah, so Mel Gibson is Santa Claus, or as the movie would like to call him, Fat Man. What a strange title! Like,
Very
it
strange.
just does not sound like a movie, does it?
No, it doesn't sound like a movie.
It centers around, like, you have to understand, like, the first 30 minutes of this movie is already going to exhaust anybody who tries to watch it, because you're just trying to, like, figure out what the fuck this thing is trying to do.
Well, maybe if
Is he
we
Santa? Is he? It took me 40 minutes to kind of work out he was Santa. He's going around town. He's dressed like George Lucas has gone to Canada for the winter.
Yeah,
And
it feels like there are times when you're not sure if they got the rights to say Santa Claus, but then occasionally they do say Santa Claus.
do you need rights to say Santa Claus?
Well, that's what I was thinking. Well, that's what I was thinking during this film, and it's like it's not like his name's Nick, which would be
The
accurate.
Claus family will come
Oh,
after you.
yeah, but
It's like Tolkien's
his
family
name
will
is
fuck you up.
Chris, and then Mrs. Claus, who isn't Mrs. Claus, is just called Ruth.
Yeah, Ruth. Why?
I
Yeah.
don't understand, but I think the trailer does better justice of this film than the film actually does. So, if you
Mm.
guys weren't listening last week, then here's a little taste of what the film is, and then we'll try and explain it to you after this.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I've lost my influence. Maybe it's time I retired the coat.
You still have it.
Some kids with a deer rifle put 2 holes in the sleigh, one in me. All I have is a loathing for a world that's forgotten.
The United States military would like to procure your services.
This is a one-time deal, gentlemen. How are you, Mike? Nicole and the kids are well, I hope.
Who are you?
You just lost a big son!
What's the job?
I'd like you to kill Santa Claus.
Yeah, I think the trailer kind of plays it out to be, well, for the most part, like a serious cat and mouse thriller.
Yeah, I mean the trailer I thought at least was gonna be like, okay, you know what you're getting into. You're gonna have these two guys are gonna, you've got the kid who hires a hitman to kill Santa, and we're gonna find out how he goes about trying to do that.
Yeah.
And it's a really drawn out version of that, and it's not so like Walton Goggins, excellent by the way. He's always great.
He's
Plays the
actually
hitman.
fine. He is fine in this. He does.
And
his
there's a bit of
best.
story about like why he doesn't like Christmas and stuff like that. But the actual like, he's trying to find out where Santa Claus lives. It's not that interesting. It's not that much of a mystery
No, because we know.
because we know. But also just like, what does he do? He just follows where the letters go. But like, this is a film that's over an hour and a half, and it's just him like slowly making his
way too
way
long.
to the North Pole
Yeah.
with no rhyme or reason or intrigue or anything like that. And then obviously intercut between elements of Mel Gibson's Santa Claus, who's dealing with the American government, who have some kind of financial stake in his, Christmas empire, which looks like a small town factory worker job. But this is the real Santa Claus. Also,
most-
he doesn't like the fact that kids aren't as nice anymore. And that's the reason why financially they're not doing as well. But because the elves, who are actually elves, for some reason in this kind of very gritty, serious film,
Yes.
are very good workers. The American government is like, we'll help you out financially, but we want your elves to make military jet fighter jet parts for us
Yeah, they want to
for a
make
few months.
like data chips or something like that. Yeah.
All I can think is that this is what people who turned up to see the Phantom Menace with all the anticipation of the original trilogy, only to see like tax federation trade routes be a part of the main
Whoa.
story, but with less of the baggage. Because
Yeah.
in this film, there's no expectation as to what this film's going to be, but you're talking about kind of subsidies within a Christmas empire.
That's such a great submission. I mean, you were walking on thin ice there because I do quite like Phantom Menace.
I mean, I like Phantom Menace too, and I obviously didn't go in with the anticipation of like, what are we learning about today? Trade Federation routes.
It is so dull. I mean, this thing it does look like a movie. Like
Yeah,
you know, it's not Santa Slay. Like this isn't like a B movie. This is a thing that like got made, and Paramount Pictures logo is hidden very in the small print somewhere on the poster. Um, it is just strange. It feels like when you go in a boardroom and everybody like you're watching like an episode of The Apprentice where like 10 people are hurling ideas and they're all awful and all completely
yeah.
different than the next, and it's like the team leader just kind of took them all and said yes to all of them. Um, I do feel sorry for the movie in the way. It's two
I
brothers
don't.
who. No, because they gave you such a horrible day, and I yeah,
But
honestly, we were gonna we wanted to have some fun with this. After you told
yes,
me you saw this first, you told me that it sucked. I had to go in knowing
I
you
tried
didn't.
to like not give it away too much.
You said that it was consistent with the picks I made previously, which I know that sucked, right? So I had to go into this thing telling like Laura and like we're gonna sit down and watch this for 1 hour and 40 minutes, and it's gonna suck, but we're gonna try to make it not suck. There's nothing to latch on in this thing. It's not even like funny. Ironically, it's just dull. It looks like one of the more recent Clint Eastwood movies, palette wise. I can't even. It takes 30 minutes to kind of work out: is he Santa? Is he like? Are we? What is going on? What's the dynamic in this town?
Mm.
Walton Goggins, we know that he's got this like revenge thing going on, but again, like Santa Slay, we get a reveal at the end of the movie, which is just comes too late. It comes too late to like be fun or anything. Um, but I do feel sorry for it. It's two brothers that made this. The Nelms twins, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All the Nelm brothers,
The Nelm brothers,
the
yeah,
Nelms,
both the Nelms, both the Nelms.
the Nelms.
That sounds Christmassy. I mean, that's probably what. Yeah, um, they both they wrote and directed this movie. It feels like I get like halfway through it, you start to get. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to make this like a black comedy,
But
but
it's not funny.
it's not funny. It is
It's not
not
funny.
funny at all. It is
It's
not.
really not funny.
It's
And I
awkward.
read that they shopped this script around for 10 years. They
Oh
should
shit!
have
Really?
given up.
10 years?
Yeah, they shopped this around for 10 years.
Jesus, man.
I don't. All right, I feel bad saying they should have given up now. You shouldn't give up because maybe there could have been a whole bunch of like studio interference and stuff like that. So
Is this for kids or I guess it's rated a 15? And it feels like it wants to be like a Netflix Kurt Russell Christmas movie as well, but it also wants to be like it wants to be Liam Neeson like been avenging his daughter here. It's like
it
what is
feels like it harkens back to those kind of 80s films where you got like two big hitters, come together by the end of the film. Like you're gonna watch this person punch this
oh
person.
yeah, it's like Enemy of the Gate. Have you ever seen that movie with Jude Law? It's like trying to be that movie,
Yeah,
but
except it's Mel Gibson and Walton Goggins. It's like it's never a fight that you were like, oh, I really want to see these two go up against each other.
yeah,
And
it
Mel
was.
Gibson seems bored. And I know his Santa is supposed to be like a grumpy Santa who's kind of lost some of the spirit because kids are naughty these days, which feels very much like, oh well, back in my days, kids were a lot friendlier.
Yeah,
And
I
then
disagree with you.
the fight sucks.
Yeah, it does suck at the end. I disagree though. I think he's giving it more effort than it deserves. I just don't think they knew what the character was, and he's just like trying to play it as an everyman. I think that's really what comes across at the end. Like
Do you
there's this
think that this was like an attempt to kind of like change public perception of him? I can't remember what else he was doing around this time, but it definitely feels like, hey guys, look, I can be like your everyman. I could be a blue collar worker, owner of a small business in rural America. I've got a black wife. I didn't say racist things. It's all good.
You know what, dude? I actually, I thought about that. I did think that the casting choice of Marianne, even though I think she's fine in this, she's probably one of the better performances in the movie. But like, it did seem like an on the nose thing. But I guess it's like, I don't know. People kind of forget them, like, apart from people like us, like people who are in the, or people who are way above us and are in the industry will have that sort of buried into their heads. But the guy's been making, like, his Hacksaw Ridge was years ago now, and it was like it got
Mhm.
Oscar nominated, and I think he's just in this rhythm now of like he'll make a movie that is like critically acclaimed every 7 years, and in the meantime he'll just do like Bruce Willisy sort of roles. I think that's his
Yeah.
shtick at the minute. But yeah, I mean Walton Goggins gets dirtied here. I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
he's
he's
taking
great. He's
orders from a
great.
12-year-old little well, like, as he's got it on his phone, a little shit.
Mm.
I hated the kid in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, he plays a bad. Like, I think because you hate him, like he's probably good, right?
With the little kid.
Yeah, because you hate him.
He's not like Joffrey. I'm not like going like, yes, I can't wait to see this character on the screen again. I'm like, oh,
He
just
is a
get
bit of
off
a
my
shit
screen.
though. He's like, you do want to punch him.
Yeah, we don't condone punching
No,
12 year
no.
olds,
Like,
but
if I
like,
saw him in real life, I'll say won't punch him.
yeah,
I'm just
like,
saying you'd want to punch him.
it's like the
You wouldn't
hypothetical. Yeah,
punch
I
him.
want to punch that. Yeah, kid.
You
Yeah,
won't punch kid,
I won't
but
dare.
he does torture people and
Yeah.
trying
Oh
to kill
yeah.
his gran.
He orders Walton Goggins to threaten a little girl with her life because she won the prize at a science fair and he didn't.
Yeah.
And get the fuck out, man. But Walton Goggins, how is he getting hired by 12-year-olds? Like, how did that relationship start? Like, what was the opening phone call that day where he's got a phone call from a 12-year-old and he's like, yeah, I'll take that job on. And
Yeah,
he's like,
and is happy like kidnapping other kids and allowing him to torture them.
yeah, but then he's like, he's got other rules where he's like, oh, I won't do that. It's too much risk on me. Yeah, I don't understand. I think Walton Goggins is doing the best he can bloody do in this movie. He is
Yeah.
just like playing it straight. Um,
Also, did
he's
he love Santa? Because he was like collecting all these things.
yeah. I think it's just upset. It's like, I don't know. It's like getting to know your enemy, isn't it? It's like obsessing. So what's the thing is the reveal of the movie at the end is that his parents were abusive, like physically abusive to him, because he's got these like scars and burn marks on his body, and we don't know
Mm.
through the movie what that's all about. And at the end, it's revealed that like he asked Santa if he could replace his parents, and Santa couldn't do that, obviously. So he's kept this grudge his whole life and wants to kill Santa for it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a boring film. It's so boring. I don't, and like the military stuff, like what was that all about? Because that didn't really come
And
into
it
play
looks
in the end
so
either.
dull. Yeah, and then it's like they got this whole thing where it's like, oh, the military coming in and they're going to completely ruin this lovely environment, and then the head military guy spends a lot of time with the head elf, like he's called Number Seven. They're all named after numbers, and he spends some time with him, and he's like, oh, I quite like the way these elves work. They're quite they'd be great with us, we love them and everything, but that goes nowhere.
And I'm trying to
It's
remember, like in the fight, he mainly fights elves, right? Like Walton Goggins mainly shooting elves. He's not shooting military
oh,
personnel so
it's like
much.
it's a
There's a
it's
few
an elf
military.
massacre. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like the. So here's the thing. You know the two of them are going to have a standoff at some point. Within the first 5 minutes, you know that the idea, and maybe because of the trailer as well, but you know that Walton
Yeah.
Goggins is going to face off against Mel Gibson. It doesn't happen until 20 minutes before it finishes. The fight is then not that creative, exciting, anything. I guess it has this mini twist of it looks like Walton Goggins has shot Santa in the head. And you're like, oh my god, he shot Santa in the head. He's fine. It doesn't matter. He shot him through the eye or something. Like, I think that was the only bit where you're like, oh.
I did write down some funny lines on my phone when I was
I'm
watching this
looking
movie.
forward to hearing these. Go
Like,
on.
and
I
they
can't
are
remember them.
they are from Walton Goggins,
Of
and whenever
course.
his character's called Skinny Man. Did you? Did
Yes,
you?
I
Yeah,
saw
like
that.
I
I
don't get. It.
saw that.
I don't get it. I mean, he is skinny, but I
Well,
don't
I
get
guess
it.
he's going up against
Yeah,
Fatman.
skinny man. Yeah, idiot. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. Go back to fucking school, you fucking idiot. Jesus Christ.
Did you actually
Um,
not get that?
you know what? I didn't. I just this film lobotomized me.
Sorry, when I saw it credited, I was like, "Oh,
Oh.
I guess that's cheeky."
Oh, Jesus Christ! Right. So he goes into this like he goes into this. Is he in an office at the time? And he's like, "I'm looking for the fat man. Where is he?" And then the guy's like, "Excuse me, Santa Claus, motherfucker." So there's loads of like moments like that in the movie that I really kind of like just caught like woke me up from my slumber for like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
split
Okay, yeah, yeah.
for a split second. Yeah. There's some other bits. He has other lines. I think the bit where he goes shopping for like a coat and he settles on the white coat is quite funny. Like he comments on the color green. Like there's a coat that's green. And he's like having green looks like fucking shit. So it's like there's moments. Yeah, he's doing the best he can do.
That's because he is funny, though.
He
He's
is
so
funny.
funny. Have you seen him in
Vice Principals.
Vice
I haven't
Principals
seen it.
and The Righteous Gemstones?
Oh yeah, Righteous Gemstones.
Ah,
Yeah, the
Baby
Vice
Billy.
Principals.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah, I guess I only really know him from like the Tarantino movies, really. But
Oh, all right, so stop watching Fat Man and watch Vice Principals. Watch all of Danny McBride's shows. So Eastbound and Down, Vice Principals, Righteous Gemstones, they're all
oh,
hilarious.
Eastbound and Down. Honestly, like I've known about that show since I was like 10 years old. Like seriously, when that show started, I don't know why to this day I haven't seen it because I know it would be my thing. I know it would be my thing.
It makes me laugh so much.
Okay, well we can turn this into like a Danny McBride podcast for a month if you want.
Absolutely. I honestly, I've already watched Eastbound and Down a few times. I will watch it again. And I'd love to watch Vice Principals again, to be honest.
Okay. Do you want to talk about Fat Man anymore? Are you done?
Because we've gone on to Danny McBride now. All I want to say is
Anything else?
it doesn't know what it wants to be.
No.
It thinks it's edgier than it is. It's not funny enough to be heralded as a black comedy. And do you know what? It just feels half-hearted. Like Mel Gibson doesn't at any point really look like Santa. They don't even give him like the white hair. He's got grey hair. I don't even think they give him like a red coat at any point.
They do like give him
Oh,
like a
at
hoodie
the very
thing at
end.
the end. Yeah.
I don't know. The whole thing sucks. And the only I feel like they had this idea of Santa being shot in the face. And they were like, that's a cool image. Let's work something around that. Because that was the only part in the film where you're like, what? He's been shot in the face. I mean, even that seems quite excessive. That was hyperbole of how I actually reacted, which was just kind of like looking at the screen.
I think that the Nelms brothers are like big fans of like Fargo and like Coen brothers movies. Like it feels like it's trying to be that as well.
Mm.
Like that's a really hard balance to the reason why they're so good at that and like kind of heralded as some of the greatest filmmakers of our generation really, but because they can balance that tone like nobody else
The
can.
Nelms brothers.
Yeah, the Nelms brothers. I think they're warming up. I think give them a few more years, they'll be on the tip of everybody's tongue. But yeah, like they're trying to reach for that Coen brothers energy. It doesn't really work. I think there's also like a bit of like fetishizing of the Western. I think it also wants to be that. There's a lot of like spaghetti Western guitar in this, especially
I
in
feel
that
like
last
you're giving
scene.
it a lot of credit.
Yeah, I'm not giving it credit. I'm just telling you what it's trying to do. It's feeling at it,
Oh, fair
100%.
enough.
But yeah, it's trying to do that. It's trying to be everything. It's trying to be everything, but it's also dull as dishwater. Like you said to me the other night, it's dull as dishwater. It is so boring. I can't remember being this bored. We've seen over 200 movies this year. I've not been this bored this year.
You've seen a lot more than me.
Well, collectively, we've seen like nearly 400 movies this year. So like,
yeah.
It's bad.
It's
It is bad.
It's bad. Yeah. Yeah, this one felt like a chore. Not gonna
I
lie.
really owe you next time. If we're doing this
I'm
again, I'm
saying
going to
this
give you some.
every
I'm going to give you something. I'm
time.
going to give you something so. I nearly gave you Santa Sleigh. I nearly gave you. I basically gave you Santa Sleigh, but
Mm.
I just knew something in my head told
When
me not to go for it, and I was right.
when should we do this again? Because this is the only time we did it in 2023, and
I
I was
mean,
thinking like I would like to. I like the theme of Christmas. Do you think maybe like Valentine's Day?
you want to make
So
this like a bi-monthly thing?
I feel like maybe we should maybe around like certain holidays that work that like films push out shit. So I reckon I think
I mean,
Valentine's Day would be a good one because they always try to push out a
yeah.
shitty rom com around Valentine's Day. We
And
could find some rom coms.
Easter's not really a thing. Like they get, is it?
No, I wouldn't. No, I don't think
I don't want to
Easter's.
watch Peter Rabbit.
No,
um, yeah, I think that's kind of it.
Valentine's Day and
Pancake
Christmas.
Tuesday movies. Is there anything like that?
Maybe.
No, Valentine's Day. I think that's the thing. I think yeah, there's loads of that. There's loads of that shit.
Maybe when we're struggling for films, maybe there hasn't been many new releases. We'll just do a random one where we're just trying to find something in the depths. But I reckon we should come back Valentine's Day and do this.
I reckon so.
Let's
Could
call
be
it a
quite
date.
could be quite romantic.
Could it be?
Don't stand me up.
I won't.
I'll stand you up.
Oh.
Because I feel like when I go on streaming services, there's always like like there's always a poster that's got loads of love hearts on it every time I go past it. So
Mm.
we should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus,
But that,
I'm in the mood for a rom com.
are you?
No, actually, no, I'm not. No. But do you know what? Harkening back to that, when there used to be rom coms out all the time. Yeah.
I love that genre.
Maybe
I
we can find
honestly,
something. Yeah, maybe we can find something.
I grew up with sisters, so I was always exposed to that kind of movie in our house. So
Mm.
yeah, I love that sort of stuff. When it's good, like I remember with circa 2011, I was putting on like Easy A every fucking week. I love that movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, so yeah, if we could find some treasures, should it be like, what is the aim of this segment? Is it to find something to punish the other person with, or are we actually trying to find a genuine gem?
I think originally it was to punish, and I think now
It was a terrible idea.
I think it's something to enjoy. Doesn't
Yes.
like Santa's Sleigh. We're not coming away being like it's a gem of a film. It's one of how have people forgotten this? It's more like I had fun with it. It was a fun time. It's silly. It's
Mhm.
stupid. So like something like
I
that.
think you're right. I think after talking about Fatman, I can actually say that I enjoyed Santa Sleigh. Like
Yeah,
it was like Citizen Kane compared to Fatman.
yeah. Fat Man can be forgotten. I think we can. It's up to me anyway because you
Uh,
challenged me for this one. So it is in the realm of forgotten.
yeah.
Forget it. Don't
When
watch
did it
this
come?
one.
When did it come out in 2020? Because we said Cats started COVID, but did this start COVID?
Well, yeah, but Cats was the start of 2020, so surely this would have been the end, right?
Yeah, but it
Right?
could have been like sometimes they just release this shit on like March
Oh
or whatever, don't
no,
they?
November. Apparently, it was released in November of 2020.
Like this thing's only 3 years old. Jesus.
Yeah,
Um, funny.
distributed by Saban Films, which is Saban are the toy company who do Power Rangers, aren't they? Yeah,
Oh, strange.
yeah.
Whatever.
I don't know if they
Yeah,
do other
I've
things.
nothing positive to say. The movie
No.
was shot in focus and looks high definition.
Yeah, stop giving Mel Gibson film roles.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, his face is very wrinkly.
He's had his time.
He's had his time.
We can't.
He's going to come back for like a Lethal Weapon reboot, like in a
Expendables
few years.
5
Yeah,
as Fat Man.
and his fat man. He's not even fat. Like he's very bulky in this.
Hmm.
Ugh. There's a scene where they're like going to like almost him and Mrs. Claus are getting jiggy under the sheets, and I'm like, what am I watching?
Yeah. Bill Goldberg, you did a much better job.
Yeah,
Like a much better job.
just trying to spread a little Yuletide fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Brilliant line.
Yeah,
Brilliant line, right?
I think he only talks in puns,
He
basically,
does. Yeah.
until the end. Until
He
he's like,
does.
"Ah, fuck you, old man! I'm gonna beat you at this curling match."
Ho ho
And that's
ho's.
it. Oh yeah, ho ho ho's.
Terrible line.
Alex's favorite scene in the movie.
The strip club.
Oh yeah,
No comment.
no comment. Guilty as charged. Alex, is that our show?
I think that's it. This has been fun. I don't know if we're going to be back until after the new year now. Actually, I think we are definitely back after the new year now. So Chris and I are having a little Christmas break. So yeah, this is your Christmas episode. But when we're back, we will be doing our year in review. So give us
We'll be
some time
crying a
to
lot
catch up
until then,
with some of
yeah.
those films that we missed maybe throughout the year. I know we've both been very busy. I've been catching up with Theatre Camp on Disney Plus. Will it make the top 10? Who knows? I did really like it. We've both seen Godzilla -1. Will it
Yes.
make the top 10? I think there's a good chance.
Yeah, there is a
No
good chance,
spoilers.
actually.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. No spoilers. It's my favorite film of the year. Not spoiling anything, but it might get in the top 10. It's not my favorite film of the year, but it was.
But yeah, I really enjoyed last year doing our like top 10s. They're silly because they don't mean anything, and by a month later, I feel like it's changed again.
And we
But
provisionally talked about them off air to each other, and both of our lists are quite different this year.
yes, right
So,
now,
right now, yeah.
I think it'll be interesting. Yeah, so looking forward to playing with that and seeing how that goes and ranking art in the order of 10 to 1.
Yeah, just completely reducing it down to a ranking system. Should we do like what they do on YouTube, where they have like S tier, poor and like terrible and everything? Man.
We could do something like that. Anyway,
Rating the entire McDonald's UK menu, ranking it McNuggets S tier.
Nah, no.
I'd say so. Anyway, we're not going to get
Nuggets in an S tier. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they're nostalgic. That is the taste of McDonald's to me. That cardboard
B
flavor.
tier, B tier at the most.
Too fancy for that. You're more like a select guy.
Yeah, but I still wouldn't put them S tier. Double cheeseburger S tier.
Oh, I agree.
Good. We agree on something. Anyway, that I think that is the film angle for 2023, which is kind of weird to say. But yeah, we'll be back very early in the new year to give you our top 10 films of 2023. But yeah, no, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, or Happy
Merry
Holidays
Christmas,
if
everyone.
you don't celebrate Christmas. Have a lovely time, everyone.
Merry Christmas, Alex.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Chris, to you and to your family.
And to your family, and to Cody,
and to your
the
family.
dog.
Well, he is my family, so of course he'd be included in that, Chris. To your dog as well.
She has a name.
Shit. No, joking. Merry Christmas, Willow.
We call her name's Willow, but we're now starting to call her Uncle Willow.
That's very strange. Why?
She's getting a little bit older now, so we're trying to call her Uncle Willow, even though she's a girl.
Weird. Sure, she loves that.
See you later.
Yeah,
Merry Christmas.
That's the film angle for 2023. I'm Alex.
And I'm Chris.
Goodbye, good night, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year.
And to all a good night.